we're going to marry a couple things here that need to be put together. Or, well, don't need to be, but I've got to talk about them both. They might as well be together. Xavier Robinson comes into the game, starts making an impact immediately. Where's he been all game? What's he been doing? Why did it take so long after watching him make plays against Maine? I mean, again, Maine. We get it. We've done it. It's Maine. Clearly, it wasn't just about Maine, though. Knowing what we know, having seen them against Missouri, why isn't anyone seeing this stuff? Why isn't anyone saying, hey, maybe this kid deserves a longer look before the 10th game of the season? I don't know. I don't. And the only reason he even got this look was because Javonte Barnes was hurt. And again, if Javonte Barnes is healthy, I agree. You get him the boatload of carries. Guy ran for 200 yards last week. I get it. Taylor Tatum has done nothing to say he deserves to be the lion's share guy. He's super talented. He can't hold on to the football. He's had problems with it. This was the first game he'd gotten real substantial carries, and he didn't put the ball on the ground. And he can't work in pass pro. He's just not there yet. Can't is wrong. He's not there yet. He'll get there. He's a good player. He'll figure it out. He's not there yet. So Xavier Robinson, he's been on the field. I'm not saying he hasn't been. But he's had no real role to this point in the game. And then all of a sudden, when you got to have it, he's the guy. This is what, year 3, 4 of the running back rotations, just making absolutely no sense. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Maybe there's an explanation. We'll never know. But I can't figure it out. Sorry. I didn't mean to get into this diatribe. Let's watch Xavier Robinson here. And some nice blocking here. Okay, so OU is going to cut this guy loose. He's going to come upfield. Robinson's going to take it right here. He's going to bounce. Howland's going to down block. Ozaida's going to down block. They're going to cut this guy loose. And then Bauer Sharp's going to go up and pick this play side. I think that's the Carnell kid. It's blocked up really well. OU's going to pop for 11 yards. One of their more successful runs of the night. Good patience, good timing. The left side of your line, I'll say it again. Look at these guys. Starting to come together. Starting to figure it out. They double. The only thing I could say is I'm guessing Howland about now is supposed to work up to this guy and seal him off. That's my guess. And then you've got Robinson one-on-one with that safety right there. I believe that's Marvin Burks. But, again, let's not nitpick. Take 11-yard carry every time you get it, especially the way this offense has gone. All right, come right back. Little, some gap scheme stuff. Got Nwiwu pulling. 8 yards. 2 carries for 19 yards. All right. So, in this situation, you're near midfield. It's 2nd and 2. You've had some success running the ball. You feel pretty good about maybe on 3rd and 2 you could go get it if you need to go get it. I'm not saying you count on anything. I understand that there is a part of your brain that says get whatever you can get while you can. It's a fair argument. It is. When you haven't taken a shot downfield all night, and you've got this guy who can fly, this guy who can fly, and this guy who's the only guy who's made a big play in the passing game all season, you don't think about something vertical. You don't even consider that possibility. You call QB run. You get the first down. Again, kind of like I said a second ago, I'm not saying I don't kind of understand it. But man, OU is so passive. They play in such a shell. They don't give themselves any opportunity to make things easy. I mean, in this situation, 8 minutes left, near midfield, 2nd and 2, you're probably looking at 2 downs. You got 2 downs to pick up 2 yards. I, and if not, you've got a defense that hasn't given up a substantial drive yet. I'm taking a shot. Again, you guys who've listened to the idiot long enough know I'm aggressive. I want my foot on the pedal all the time. But, and I get it's always easier to say that from a couch. I understand. It's easier to defend these decisions that you went and got your first down. It's just, even when OU has the opportunity to play a little loose, to get a little aggressive, they pass on it. And I don't mean that literally. They run QB draw. Anyway, that's just kind of a personal feeling. I don't love that. So now we come back on 1st and 10. They're going to go right back to Xavier Robinson, right? Let's just keep it rolling. You know, you've got him going. He gave him a break there on 2nd down. He's going to be a little more fresh. Didn't give him 3 straight carries and wear him down. We got to play here. Let's go. Nope, you're going to run tight end bubble screen. I don't even feel like I need to say it. What the hell are they doing? Why? Why are you force-feeding Bauer Sharp and nobody else? He's the only guy in this offense they seemed to have a clear indication of, we're getting him X amount of touches. We're getting the ball to him, one way or the other. I'd love to know where Deion Burks went. If I'm looking at this, I'm not mad about a situation where Jackson Arnold just makes a quick throw out here to Deion Burks, and let's see if Deion Burks can do something. Do something to get the ball in your most dynamic playmaker's hands. And let's be honest, I think he's their most dynamic playmaker. We've seen nothing to say that all year, and I don't put that on Deion. They've given him no chances to show what we heard about all spring and summer. What we saw at Purdue last year. There's none of it. I keep yelling. I really don't mean to. I really am sorry. I apologize. I'm trying to just get through this. Okay. So, tied in bubble screen. Okay. I think we've said all we need to say. Now they're looking at 2nd and 12. Great. That's just the down you want to be in with the way this offense has gone. Maybe they'll throw it downfield now. Again, I haven't watched this again. I am not sure of my sequencing. Oh, no, you give it to Xavier Robinson, who puts you back in 3rd and manageable at midfield. Let's just see let's see what happened here. Oh, it's more of that counter. You got guys down blocking. You got Fabechi coming and kicking out the end, doing a better job of it than I've seen him do to this point in the season. So, credit to him. Goes, blocks that guy. Look, you've got Ozida here. You've got Howland here. Bauer Sharp picking up a nice block downfield. If Fabechi does a better job, this is possibly a big play. Because look, he cuts through here, and you've got, is that Ivan Carry-On right there? I mean, that could pop if Fabechi can get a little bit more on the end here. Watch this play out. And this is part of it. I just don't know that and we've said it for weeks. And OU it's not like they can magic up a guard. I understand. I don't think he's athletic enough to be pulling as much as they're pulling him. And if this is what you're going to employ, I don't mind Eddie Pierre-Louis out there. Because Eddie Pierre-Louis is going to get out there half a step faster, at least. And if you can watch it. let's say Fabechi is there now. This guy is still traveling upfield. He's now realizing that this is a run underneath him, and he cuts back. Fabechi still hasn't thrown his hands. He still hasn't made contact. He's still not there. This guy has a chance to step back underneath him, and it's why he can make this play. And again, if he doesn't do that, that might go for 30 yards or more. Like, that could have been a big play. I'm not putting that on Fabechi. He's doing the best he can do. That's not a – he's 330 pounds. We talked in the offseason that seemed too heavy. It's looked too heavy all year. He hasn't moved like OU needs him to move. If he's going to come back next year, he needs to be at 315, 320, and I think it would make a world of difference for him because I think he's a good player or has the parts to be a solid player. I'm not saying he's a future NFL guy like I was talking in the offseason because it's what I was hearing. I don't think he's that guy. Even if he gets himself in proper shape and changes his body around a little bit, I don't see that. But do I think he can be a solid guard? Yeah, I do. I think he can be pretty useful. And can be a good guy with a lot of experience to help Eddie Pierre-Louis grow into what I think he can be, which is an NFL guy. All right, so let's just keep moving here. 3rd and 6. They throw to Xavier Robinson out in space. So, on one of OU's best-looking drives of the season, they've given Xavier Robinson 4 touches of the 6 possible. Jackson Arnold had a 2-yard run up the middle, and Bauer Sharp had a 2-yard loss. So, OU is neutral on offensive yards, save for Xavier Robinson, who has now picked up 31 in 4 touches. I don't know that could have been a mystery. I will be very surprised, knowing Xavier Robinson, knowing everybody and everything I ever heard at Carl Albert, that he's somehow this great game player and not a great practice player. I feel like this was probably seen, and that's a problem, that he's just now getting to have a role. Now, he had time to grow into it. I talk about this with offensive line all the time. There's something to that. I'm not saying this is the guy he would have been in week 2. I don't believe that. But I kind of wonder where he would have been if he would have gotten some touches in week 2, week 3, week 4, where he'd be now. Because we're just seeing a guy getting into game speed reps, just starting to piece it together. Again, if this was a one-off, that happens. There's a pattern here. And there's been a pattern for several years. And I feel like people have ignored it, and I know why. But it's not good enough. It's just not. I don't know any other way to say it. Look at his patience. Watch him just pick his way through the line here. I'm going to try this. Let's get positive. Let's get real positive. Heath Ozida, look at Heath right there. Wall that off. Logan Howland turning that guy out. Bauer Sharp's going to come pick up the linebacker. Bauer Sharp remains out of control. He's a little bit of a wild man as a blocker. He wants to kill you every time. But he does enough there. He makes a play. He takes that guy out of the equation. That's worth something. It is. But look at Ozida here. Is that on? That's the Williams kid, I think. Yeah. That's a nice block. That'll work. That's a guy that's been playing all year, and the light's starting to come on. He's starting to figure it out. He's not as physical as you want him to be. but he'll get there. I honestly believe that. So, okay. Here's a good example of what I'm talking about with Bauer Sharp. Watch right here. He's going to come in on this insert, and he's going to meet, I believe, this guy right here in the alley. Boom. Great initial contact. He's with violence, blah, blah, blah. But then watch that guy just shed him. Just presses him, gets rid of him. Sharp's over there in the pile. You can see him, and to the point that same guy is getting into it with him a little bit there. Don't know what that's about. Anyway, but this is the stuff that he's got to improve on in the offseason. Okay, now you're here. Get those hands inside, get underneath that guy and jack him up. Like, you're a bigger guy than this guy is. You're stronger than this guy is. Move him. Move him out. Because if he can just get this guy turned, and I don't mean much, Xavier Robinson can pop through this hole and you got a first down. But as it is, the guy stacks the hole, stacks the running lane, and there's nothing there for him. All right, I guess we're just going to go through this whole drive. I didn't really mean to do it this way, but that's the way it's going to be. Xavier Robinson just bouncing off defenders. We've seen this before, guys. We watched this at Carl Albert. Boom. But you're not going to take him down like that. You're just not going to do it. He is a powerful freaking guy, and he's tough as hell. You guys can remember recruiting reports from last year when Eddie and I would laugh about people trying to tackle Xavier Robinson. It's just comical. He is. You better come with it all, or you're not going to do anything. You're wasting your time. Like he's that kind of guy. He's very, very physical. Let's see here. Okay, so you got Fabechi. Yeah. So here's the. Okay, you've got Bauer Sharp trying to do. They changed the look on him. He knows pre-snap this is who he's supposed to be blocking. He's tracking him. He's probably looking at him right there. So Fabechi's going to pull. When this guy comes flying around, Fabechi's got him. Sharp's got to move up. Because this guy gets inside, that linebacker comes, so this becomes Fabechi's guy. Watch Sharp try to still track him. He's still trying to block him. Nope, he's not part of the play anymore. Sharp's got to move, go get this guy. If he gets that guy, Jackson's running. Because Thompson would have carried this guy in. Sharp comes here, Arnold bounces. This guy's going to make the play eventually. I don't know how far Jackson goes, but it's a positive play. There's no doubt in my mind. So again, by week 10, do I feel like that stuff he should be better at? Yeah, I do. At the same time, these are college guys. He hasn't played a lot of tight end. I can make allowances. Like, I can understand. But again, I see him playing with urgency. It's not wandering around. Like, when he knows what he's looking at, he plays. But they've got to get him up to speed on what he's looking at. I mean, watch him here. Watch Sharp on this insert. Come in, bam. He just drills that guy. Now, there's nothing to follow it up, and that's the next step for him, even on these plays that he does know what he's seeing. He's got to follow it up. He's got to get his hands on guys. He's got to drive people. That's when he becomes a true difference maker as a blocker. Okay, here's the play. And I've bagged on Joe John Finley. This is ballsy as shit. I give him all the credit in the world. This was a gutsy call. It really was. To go after all the success they'd had running, I know you guys are yelling at your screen. Why are they going empty? Why is there not a back out there? What are they doing? And I don't blame you. I would have felt the same way. Great job by Logan Howland there, just to get enough. Just to get enough of that guy. Yeah, it's well done. They sell it. You guys remember what was it? Was it Houston or was it Tulane when they ran that play, Tatum and Arnold? And it went so poorly. And it was just poorly sold. It was poorly set up. Jackson didn't do what he needed to do. Like, it was just bad. This was cleaner. This was better. Tatum still didn't make a great throw, but it was good enough. He got what he needed to get done. And he sells it harder. He looks like a guy that's actually running. Okay. So, huge there. Again, ups and downs on that drive, but I still think there's talent on this offense. I believe it to my bones. Like, there are guys who can make plays. And that guy's one of them. I don't have any problem with people that think Jackson Arnold should be back next year and should have a legitimate chance to start. I don't have a problem in the world with that. I don't have a problem with the world that if you think of Michael Hawkins. I think both are untapped resources. But I don't think we know what most of these guys look like because there's only a few guys that look like they're growing through the course of the year. And that's a problem. So, anyway, I leave you with that cheery note. But OU has tied the game up. Let's see where it goes from here. I'm sure there won't be any chaos.